Can you give us an example of a social enterprise that AirAsia has given grants to?
One of the organisations that was one of our earliest grants, in fact our first grant in Malaysia, is called Tony Bong. It's based in Sabah. They work in renewable energy, and their mission really is to help really remote orang asal villages get access to electricity. So these villages are usually too far from the national grid. They rely on kerosene and diesel, and that itself, just for the short time between 6 o'clock and 10 o'clock, they have to spend 250 ringgit a month. Just imagine the pollution as well, sound and smoke and from burning, diesel. So this organization, since 10 years ago, have been slowly, equipping these villages with very small micro hydro turbines, like 5 kilowatts, 10 kilowatts, that powers the entire village. And it's clean, it doesn't require damming, and it's good for the environment. And once you get it set up, it only costs 5 ringgit a month to run. Now the problem is it costs a couple of 100,000 to set up. The turbine itself is 50,000 ringgit. So they used to rely on development grants from organizations like the UN to support their work. But funds are drying for Malaysia because a lot of people feel like Malaysia is an urbanized country, should be able to take care of itself. So the organization decides that, okay, we're going to change as well. We're going to try to see how we can create a social enterprise channel to support our activities. So they came to us for a capital pool, and the idea is they will set up these turbines in the villages on a hire purchase basis. So the villages will pay it progressively over 3 years, and they will only pay 50 ringgit a month. And so that's a lot less than what they're currently spending. And after 3 years, they own it. They own it, and they can use it to the funds in future to improve other aspects of their villages, or they can reduce their spending. So it increases their disposable income for other things. So to date, with the funds that we've provided, they have set up 2 turbines, and we're looking at a 3rd turbine, and the funds that we provide will support up to 6 turbines.
Social entrepreneurship has been very trendy in Malaysia for the past few years. What are some of the challenges that these entrepreneurs face?
The biggest challenge that social entrepreneurs face is always the issue of funding and capital. So they are not, conventionally a business, so they don't aim for profit. So that makes it difficult for them to apply for a bank loan and get to start their businesses or to keep their businesses growing. So we step in to partly address that, so that we look for organizations that have started up, so they would have probably 1 or 2 years of experience, but really are looking for some help to scale up. And they may not be able to get a loan, so we help them. There are also NGOs who come to us because they find difficulty continuing to rely on welfare funds. So they also want to convert part of their income stream into a more sustainable channel, and they start social enterprises, so we also help them out there.
They say that Malaysia is years behind in terms of a developed social entrepreneurship scene in comparison to other ASEAN countries. What can we learn from, say, the Philippines or Vietnam or Thailand?
AirAsia Foundation works at the ASEAN level, so we have grantees in all these other countries as well, and local partners. But for example, in the Philippines, I think it's the most advanced in terms of developing social enterprise. They have actually tabled a bill at both houses of Congress, which looks likely to be passed, and that sets an entire framework to support social entrepreneurship in the country. It requires the government to set aside certain allocations to support training, capacity building for social entrepreneurs. It requires banks to give a certain amount of their funds to loans to social enterprises. And it also creates a category. You can actually register your company as a social enterprise if you fulfill certain criteria, and that will make you eligible for all sorts of new assistance. So that will make a huge difference. Thailand, on the other hand, has gone a very corporate route, so they work with the social enterprise incubator, who's our partner. It's an organization called Change Fusion. They work with an organization, the Stock Exchange of Thailand, and what they're working with is to really tap on the money available to listed companies. So firstly is to get listed companies buying into the concept. So they have worked out sustainability indices.
How has AirAsia over the years been supporting the social entrepreneurship scene in the ASEAN region?
We have set up a grant program, and this started about 3 years ago, and we give small grants and business mentorship, and we try to link them up to the AirAsia network as far as possible to help them grow their businesses. So in the last 3 years, we have funded 10 organizations in 6 countries. AirAsia Foundation is organizing our largest ASEAN Social Enterprise gathering in KL next Saturday on November 7th. It's our first public event. We've been working in social enterprise for the last to 3 years, and this time we want to bring a variety of social enterprises to KL, so basically so that the Malaysian public can engage with them and find out about this sector and really the great variety of social enterprises that are out there. We also have a panel of distinguished ASEAN entrepreneurs, and our group COO Tony Fernandez is one of them, and they will be there to talk about what entrepreneurs are doing in order to support the social enterprise growth scene in the region. There will be people who work in social enterprise incubation, so it's really a whole community of people coming together.